Hello friends, I know I don't usually start a video in here, but today I'm supposed to be going on holiday, but it's pouring with rain and thundering, so I'm not really feeling up for going and packing the dogs in the van and going off on adventures. So I'm going to delay until tomorrow. But regardless, I really wanted to film a video for you so that you've got something to look at whilst I'm away, because I won't be here to record. And there is loads to do, as always, in the allotment. I was going to get some jobs done, and I need to harvest all of the tomatoes before I go, because they won't survive until I get back. I'm going to be away for a week, 10 days. I'm going away in my camper van, so I can kind of please myself. It's not like I've got to get a flight or anything. So I'm getting fully waterproof so that I can go out in the garden and just make sure that everything is set up to survive while I'm gone. I also still need to walk the dogs, and the weather is disgusting, so not quite sure how that's going to work, but we're just going to go and see what needs to be done and try and get it done as quickly as possible so I don't get soaked. In fact, I'm just going to take this off because I think what I might do is light the fire so that when I come back in from this very wet adventure, nice and warm in the house. I'll be right back. Okay, the fire is lit. I've had a little snack. We are ready to do this. This is what we're up against. This has actually calmed down from what it was a few minutes ago. We can do this. There is a snail sheltering from the rain, so that's going to go in the compost bin. One of my jobs is to empty the compost caddy before I go on holiday. Look at the puddles. Ooh, lots of bugs in there. Okay, that's a two-handed job. The pond is enjoying the rain. Ooh, look. The algae is going. So it's sunk down to the bottom quite a bit. But I think maybe the watercress is finally winning. That's quite a change to all the surface algae that we had here for a while. Next up, we've got to try and harvest the tomatoes. Some of the really big ones are becoming ripe. I think there are tomatoes on every plant that needs to be picked. I'm not going to film this because my camera is going to get soaking wet if I do. I think I've just about harvested everything that needs to be harvested. Put quite a lot in the compost heap because it's been munched, because there is a lot of snails around at the moment. I'm moving the basil into the greenhouse. You can really hear the sound of the rain. Maybe I'll close this window down. Oops. Oh, we have a bit of a construction failure. That is going to wait until I return from holiday. The temperatures in here have still been high, on the sunny days. I'm going to reset that. Time to tackle these tomatoes, and for that I'm going to need some stakes and some string. These are the seeds we sowed the other week, and you can see that the pak choi have germinated already. Nothing from the spinach, dill or coriander, although all of my coriander this year has taken an absolute age to germinate, so I'm not super worried. The kales are starting to grow, except that one, which may or may not be dead. And then I've brought the basil in from the small greenhouse. Ideally this needs to go in a bigger pot, but I don't think I'm going to have time to do that before I go, so we'll just have to cope as it is. And then I've got all this tomato foliage to go put in the compost bin. I've just added some chard to my harvest, and I found an extra yellow courgette, so I'm going to take this lot in and make some lunch. I think I'm going to make some tomato soup, and then I'm going to use the courgettes and the chard in like either a stir fry or some pasta later on this evening.